Hey everybody, I'm Wiredwicky. I'm currently at ESA Winter 19, and on this event I did a little run called Blossom Tales the Sleeping King. I did the All Bosses category, and you're about to watch that, so I hope you enjoy it. Hello everybody, I'm Wiredwicky and I'm gonna play Blossom Tales for you today. Blossom Tales is a fun game. It's heavily inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. So if you like that game, you're probably gonna like this one as well. And I will explain like a lot of things along the way. So I'm ready. Is everyone? Is the audience ready? Yes. Cool. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. So the beginning is a little bit like you get mainly the story. The story is that this is the grandpa, and he's gonna tell a story to his grandchildren. And that's basically what this game is about. You will see dialogue on the bottom and dialogue on the top. The dialogue on the bottom is basically what the characters in the story do. The dialogue on the top is actually what the grandfather and the kids tell about the story. And that can have influence in some sense in the game, but we won't see that much of it because, well, first of all, we skip all the text. And secondly, the only occasion in a run where it actually happens, we skip that. Basically, I will tell you that when we're there. But yeah, right now it's straightforward. Need to go to the castle. Lily is the name of the character who becomes a knight, so it's like a very special day for her. And yeah, well, that's the story. She becomes a knight, and well, stuff is about to happen. But mainly now it's just button mashing through texts. And there you see the king and the brother next, right next to the king. And well, like especially the brother is gonna play a huge part in this game, although you won't see him for like very long. But yeah, that's basically it. We're heading towards the first dungeon. It's like a mini dungeon to just give you a little bit of explanation about how the game works. But we will get our first item there, and that item is completely broken. It's stupid. Let's say it like that. So this is the castle dungeon, or I think it's officially called the castle basement. And basically, you're gonna see a lot of rats here, and not only the small rats. We're gonna see giant rats coming up soon. So this is just telling about the basic mechanics of the game. Plus, it gives you a health potion, which is convenient. It's not specifically necessary, but it's a good backup. And there are some strats where you can use a potion after damage boosting. So I'm gonna see if I can get that, but that all depends on how the run goes. So yeah, just some basic movements about Lily. You can slash your sword. Here they tell you about the spin attack, basically, or they call it the round strike here. And you can also like have a little dash, which is truly overpowered, and you have like invincibility frames, which we're gonna use later in the run. So far, okay, it's not a 3 cycle. You can 3 cycle it, room. It's not easy to do. I don't get it a lot of the times. I think I've gotten it like about 10 times in total. In about 250 runs, so it's not that easy to do. It just means you're faster, but it's not that much. So the first thing we're gonna do here is there is a portal right in front of this door. We want to skip that, and that has a specific reason we want to skip that. So we're gonna go right around as much as possible, and there it is. So we skip that, and you'll see later what that means. So I was talking about rats, right? Well, there's one. And what we do here, you're actually supposed to wait until he throws the bomb, and then throw it to him. But the sword dash can actually hit the rat king. Thank you. This is not that hard though. But thanks for the applause. So here we get the bomb, and what you need to do here is like there's a bombable wall behind the chest, but that triggers a cutscene, and cutscenes are slow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna death warp. Because we skipped the portal earlier, like right in front of this room, we go outside here, and that's perfect because we need to go here. there is like a regular way to exit the castle, but because she never triggered the cutscene, it won't open the gate. So we need to find another way to get around the castle. And as I've said before, the item we got, the bombs, are insanely broken. Like, it's stupid. It's like, I think it decides like 90% of the run. And you're gonna see here specifically why. It puts you out of place. Like, walls are just a suggestion at this point, because we have bombs, and we're gonna abuse that a lot. That's what I want to say. For now, we're just gonna go to our next location, and this is gonna be just walking and walking. So if there are any words, this might be a right time.
All right. I would like to take this moment to acknowledge one of our partners here at ESA Winter, which is ViewSonic Elite, which has provided screens for the games here, and they are an exclusive monitor partner for us during 2019 and 2020. So we use many of the screens here for the stream, and for the streaming pods we also have here in the back that are provided by Elgato. So even people who visit the event can stream while they are on site.
Yeah, the Elgato stream pods are nice and really well set up. I did a couple of streams during the weekend earlier, and they were like a charm. So you saw me go out of the way for the portal a little bit earlier. We're gonna use that just to skip like a couple of seconds later on. And this is like the first, this is like the first thing where actually you can decide what's going on next. So there was a little dialogue showing. Ooh, that's not good. Fine. A little dialogue showing, and basically you could choose which type of enemy you're fighting here. You can choose between archers and golems. It doesn't really matter which one it is. I prefer the archers because when they got you into aim, they stop moving, so it's easier to hit them, and the golems can like jump away randomly. So I prefer the archers, but it's not like one is faster than the other. It's just a more secure way. You will take damage, but that's fine. These are, by the way, the golems you could fight instead of the archers. So now we're heading to our first actual dungeon, basically. And when I'm there, at least at the entrance, I'm gonna need like a little bit of quiet time because it's not super hard, but I need to focus on what's happening, because basically we're gonna play a game of Simon Says, and it's okay, I guess. This one is not that hard. There are specific for specific hard pieces, you actually need to do like 10 in a row of them, and that's pretty ridiculous. All right, so I need a little bit of focus time here. So I'm gonna be I tried to keep commentating, but it might be that I will be silent for a little bit. That's a fine pattern. So as far as I'm aware, there are set patterns, but it's just random which one you get. And bomb. Okay. So this was the easy one. But there are like really hard ones later on. Well, we don't get to see that in this category at least. I think it's only for all items and 100%, which aren't routed yet. There are people working on it. I know Kant is working on all items, and I'm trying to figure out if I can route 100%. But yeah, it's a lot, and it's a lot of RNG. But that's for another category. We're not gonna talk about that. So this is the first dungeon. What I do like specifically about this dungeon is like the music. The soundtrack overall is really good. Shout out to Visager for that. Visager Music. She did an amazing job on the music on its own. I love it. So here we're gonna see another example of walls and pillars just being a suggestion. You just clip through them. Bombs are, yeah, it's stupid how broken they are, but it's also fun. Well, this is just. Did I get that? Yeah, okay. So you're gonna see some puzzles here and there. I'm just gonna do that for safety. You're gonna see some puzzles, block puzzles, tile puzzles. it's your basic Zelda experience mainly. Okay, nice. And you're also gonna notice during the run that your sword is also heavily overpowered, especially like the sword dash. But you're gonna see that. Okay, well that works. You're gonna see that in the second dungeon a lot because the bosses there are pretty insane, so to say. Like casually, if you don't get a lot of heart pieces along the way, it can be a little bit of a pain. But I mean, it should be doable. There are at least like a bunch of backup items you can grab along the way. And this is the first instance of a tile puzzle. This one is straightforward. We're gonna get harder ones later on, definitely. Once again, this is still the beginning of the game. It's a little bit of a tutorial. Well, not tutorial area anymore, but you're gonna get introduced to some new mechanics. And yeah, for now, this dungeon is like pretty straightforward, I want to say. There's not much to it. Also, these rooms look scary, but if you know the strats, it's really easy. You barely have to move even. This can be tricky because these guys are complete RNG, how they move. So that's it. It's always rough. And there's an upcoming thing that it doesn't save any time, but I always think it's hilarious. So if you hit the switch, which I didn't, great, I can't show it off right now. So basically if you hit the switch and then open the chest, you will open the chest and get the key, but the cutscene of you opening the chest will still play afterwards, but the key won't be there. So it's basically like, oh look, you open the chest and you have nothing. But well, I didn't get it, sadly. But then again, it doesn't save or lose any time to do that. So upcoming is the first halfway boss, and this guy is okay, I guess. You need to focus a little bit. And it's also just, his patterns are completely RNG as well. Why didn't that hit him? Oh jeez. I'm just hoping my bombs will do at least something. Yeah, that worked. I think one more hit would do it. Yeah, great. Thank you. Oh, nice. Okay, I got to show that off. There is like one frame where you enter a room and you can open up the menu, so you can menu during screen transition, which saves like a couple frames. So that's cool. I was not expecting to show that off, but it's fine. I like that. So now we're gonna see a little bit. Oh, first this, but we're gonna see like probably the worst room in the game. Period. This is the worst room in the game, and now it's not that bad, but we're gonna visit this room a second time, and then you'll notice why I mentioned that. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, okay. This should be fine actually. So, while the rock snakes move like completely random, the little green thingies you saw, I don't know the name for them, actually have a set pattern. That should be it. Yeah. They actually have a set pattern, and what you basically need to do here, you saw a lot of torches, and they need to get lit. And, well, they can get in the way. And I haven't explained it yet, but all the items you use are basically, you manage that by your enemy meter, or energy meter, I should say. And when they get into the way, it can screw up your routing here. So that's why I killed all these guys over here. Why didn't that hit? There was nothing in the way. That was weird. So yeah, now I have to wait because I don't have energy anymore. And, well, yeah, that's bad. And yeah, energy management is a huge part in the road, especially later on, because we're getting an item that we're gonna use like every 2-3 seconds later on. But we cannot get that yet, and I will explain that when we are there. Because it is obtainable, but there is a certain limitation to it, which once again I will explain it when we actually get the item, because I don't want to spoil anything. And this is once again your generic like tile puzzle. It's not that bad. It's just muscle memory and stuff. Another one of these rooms. This dungeon has a lot of like execution rooms. You only see that in this dungeon though. And there's like one specific room in a later dungeon, but that's about it. Okay, so now let's see if I can get this like in the fastest cycle possible. Because it's like 50% when I get it or not get it. It's like if. So you need to light all the torches in a specific way. And this is the most important one. Can I get the cycle? I'm probably gonna get hit. Actually, no. Nice. This means I actually made the cycle, so that's cool. So this is about the fastest you could have done this room. So that's a relief. Because this room always stresses me out. So we're almost at the end of the dungeon. It's fairly quick, I would say. Especially because we skip a lot of things. So usually, you need to get this pattern from the side rooms. There are rooms on the left and the right side. And you need to figure out what the patterns are, but they're always the same. It's always a set pattern. So these are the rooms, and you need to light the torches and then burn the things on the wall to see what the pattern is you need to set it in. Alright, so this is the first actual boss. And this is a weird one. This is heavily RNG. It has multiple attacks, and one is faster than the other. And this is also where your energy management comes into play. Alright, let's see. This is the only way to hit him. You cannot hit him with the sword. Oh, the lasers. Lasers are fairly quick, and especially if you take damage, it will be quicker. But once again, since I'm trying to manage my energy, I need to I need to look out for when I can attack and when not. I can get one attack in, that's fine. Okay, that's a good pattern. Because this takes a little bit longer so I can fully recharge and then fully attack him. That's actually fine. And also, when he does this, there are a couple of invincibility frames, so sometimes you won't hit him, which is weird. I don't know exactly how it works. Okay, one more hit. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna see if I can get it a little bit quicker depending on RG. Because he will open his mouth and you can actually attack him, but it's really weird how it works. Okay. And that's it. That was decent RNG, I would say. Was not the best, but I've seen worse. So we get the first element. Basically, to tell a little bit more about the story. The brother of the king, who is called Crocus, actually put the king to sleep, and you need to get 3 ingredients to wake up the king again. And we just get the first ingredient. So that's basically the story. And now we need to go. They tell you like the next ingredient is in that place, but the disciples actually are like not convinced Lily is up for the task. Like, it's not gonna get it. It's lucky, blah blah. But yeah, well, we all know better. Lily's great. So that portal I picked up earlier, we don't have to walk this, so it saves a couple of seconds. And you only go out of the way for like half a second, so that's fine. So we're up to the next area, and as said before, sometimes you can decide how it goes or what you're fighting against, because the kids argue a little bit sometimes, and this is one of those moments. So you can choose. You have like the pirate queen or the ninja bandit, and once again, it doesn't really matter which one you pick in terms of fighting, but we found this gap. And it contains bombs, and we can just walk past it. Shoutouts to Van for actually suggesting that, like, maybe that would work, And I tried it and was like, oh yeah, it works, nice. So we can do that now. Yeah. Also, it is it's sort of like a random mini boss. It's not counted towards the all bosses category, so it's only like the actual dungeon bosses and mini bosses. So we don't specifically have to beat this one. Just to clarify that, it's not counted as an actual boss in the game. So we're almost at the second dungeon already. Can I? Ooh, that's bad. If I got the first hit in, it would be fine. This is once again a place where I need a lot of energy, so we need to wait a little bit. It's okay. We can enjoy the music a little bit more. Shoot, please. So you need to light up all the torches in order to open the dungeon. And this is the scary part of the run, I would say. This, especially in the speedrun, like casually it's fine. In the speedrun there are a few bomb clips that are specifically hard, and it can end up really bad if you don't do them correctly. So in order to get this key, you first need to go to the left side to hit a switch, open up the pillars on the bottom right, and then go all the way from bottom right to top right. But we have bombs, so we do that. Also remember this key, because we're not gonna use it for a while. We're gonna use it for a later stage actually. So this is one of the trickier bomb clips. Okay, first try, that's really good. I usually screw that up a little bit, but this is fine. So here we have the actual block puzzles, and well, they can get annoying, especially for 100%, because there is one specific block puzzle that is really tricky, and you need to do that in order to get a heart piece. It's all for a heart piece, which is a little bit disappointing because it's a lot of work. I could have actually picked up the heart. It's fine. So these tiles are basically on a cycle, and I don't want to... Ooh, that's bad. That's really bad, actually. I don't want to hit the lava too much, because I want to spare my potion for a later part, where we can actually skip a lot more. But I should be fine, I guess. 1.5 hearts is scary, but it should be doable. So we can save a little bit of time by doing this, and actually just jumping up the stairs. Then this room. Here you're gonna see like the first real advantage of using the sword dash, because you can actually just clip through the lasers, which is neat. I'll take that heart, and I hope I can pull this one off. So if you do this correctly, you can just spam A, and yeah, you do this. Okay, nice. Oh, close. I jinxed it. Yeah, if you do that correctly, you can just hold down A. Yeah, just hold down the down button, and yeah, just spam A. Oh, close enough. I'm gonna see if I can get a heart. Okay, 1 heart is good. So we got another block puzzle here. This one is a little bit longer. So once again, if there are any words, this is the time for that.
Why, sure. You might know that ESA Winter is coming to you live from Växjö in Sweden, but did you also know that the city of Växjö is one of our partners for this event? Växjö is actually one of the most prominent IT clusters in Sweden. It's a very beautiful city to live in, and an ESA arcade will actually soon open here with games like Jubeat, Dance Dance Revolution, Grove Coaster, Tetris. There'll be a bunch of candy cabs, pinballs, and more of that. And we have an arcade room here at the event, and it's awesome.
Yes, so this is one of the rooms where I want to spare my potion for, because this is a long vertical room with a lot of lava, and you can get some skips in if you do it correctly. This is where I want to save my potion for. Okay, this is fine. I can do that. Okay, I was just in time. That was scary. So that's where you want to save the potion for, mainly. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I wouldn't make that. And it would have been devastating, because if you die, you basically go to the last portal you visited. And in this case, that would have been the portal to the start of the dungeon. So that would have taken quite a while. Which is also a funny thing. I never touched the portal, but yet it activated. It does that in a couple of instances. I don't know exactly how that works, but it works. I'm not gonna question things that work. But this is one of the longer tile puzzles, but this is also pretty straightforward, I would say. It's not, definitely not the hardest one. It's like the more open ones that are actually hard because they're, I mean, there are multiple solutions, but yeah, it can mess with you sometimes. So here's the Flame Mage, and this guy, yeah, here you're gonna see like how powerful the sword dashes actually are, because you take a lot of invincibility frames. I'm not getting hurt by any of his shots right now because of this. That's it. So that's how you see how powerful it is. I want to mix up like sword attacks and bombs. He's gonna do this, so he's gonna warp away. He's gonna go down, yes. So this is usually in a set pattern. Now it's gonna appear in the middle. Now it's gonna appear top left. And now it's just whatever he likes. Eh. Okay, that was not bad. But yeah, if you're not aware of like all the little things in the game, like the invincibility frames, this can really mess you up. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. So this is another part. What you actually need to do is to go to the room on the left and like go up and go down to open like the pillars, but well, we have bombs. We know what it does at this point. So it's really easy. I'm gonna see if I can get this cycle. Oh, that's bad. Saved. Alright. For some reason it doesn't always work on the right side, but it does on the left side. I'm just gonna wait this cycle here. I could have winged it. I'm just gonna take the safe route here. Oh, that guy's in the way. That's bad. I'm gonna wing this one though. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, that's fine. Oh, let's do that again. So these ones are a little bit harder to do than the other bomb clips you see in the game. But yeah, that's why this is actually the scary dungeon, because there are a lot of tricks that are different in execution and are like really weird. And we can skip the last one because we can do that. That's found out by Contos actually, and it saves a little bit because you don't have to go to the top right. So that's nice. Close. So what I usually do is like I throw in a bomb and hope to hit some of these. These are also completely random. They can juke you out like crazy. Okay, that was fine. But yeah, I've had runs where I threw a bomb and like killed 2 of the 3 and I was like, whoa. Okay, that's the thing. So it's very useful if you have good RNG and you're like just lucky. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping to get a heart out of that. This is once again an execution room where you need to kill all of them. There are not a lot of them in this game. Only a couple, especially in the first dungeon there are a couple, and then it just turns out. So this is also another skip. Okay, first try, nice. You need to go around like a whole long road and just do stuff, and well, we don't have time for that. This is speedrun, right? So yeah, if you want to know why the bomb is broken, that's why it's broken, because it skips a lot. In any percent, there's one trick that just skips 60% of the game in general, because bombs. But once again, we cannot do that because this is all bosses. Just gonna take the safe route here. I could actually just dash for it. Should I? I'm gonna wait. I do want to have at least some health, because this is probably the hardest bomb clip to do. I think it's a 2-pixel frame. I'm not entirely sure, but it's really hard, so I need to focus a little bit. This should be fine, right? No, it's not. Great. So Okay, second try. That's not bad. That's not easy to do. Like all of the other clips is just hug the corner and you're fine. This one is not. Has like a specific pixel to it. So this guy, he's gonna start out with the flames. All right. Okay, that's actually not bad because I can just stay there. As you can see, I take a lot of damage. That's fine because there are a lot of pots here and they contain a lot of hearts, so I can just mash here. That was the wrong way. Okay, that's unfortunate, but should be fine. I'm like 1 or 2 hits away at this point. So, how you can tell? Yeah, 1 hit. Okay, fair enough. How you can tell how far you have beaten the bosses? At every hit, the screen starts flashing in a specific color. Green means he has a lot of health, like yellow orange-ish means he has like halfway, and red means he's almost done. It doesn't always work, especially with the next boss. Sometimes it just flashes without a color, which is weird, but usually you can tell how far you are into the boss fight. So that was the second official dungeon. We have the second ingredient, and now we go to our third one. And this is actually in any percent the first one you go to, because normally the gate that we're going to enter right here, like the gate on top here, is closed. But we have bombs, so we can just bomb clip out of that. So yeah, there's that. And the reason we don't go here first, because, well, you could do things out of order, but there is going to be an elevator up, and that elevator actually is a cutscene trigger, and that triggers that all of the things the game assumed you have done by that point are gone. So you can go back to the dungeons, that's fine. All the bosses will be just gone, they're not there, so it doesn't count for all bosses. So that's the reason why we're not going here first, and that's also the reason why in any percent we go here first, because we can do that. It's weird how this game works sometimes. It's incredibly broken and I love it. That's basically the thing. So up in this specific room, is yeah, right here is the elevator. So this is the trigger for the game that's like, oh, you're going up the elevator, so you must have beaten this and this boss. So, that's how the trigger works. That's how we figured out how the trigger works. Because in the first any percent before we started doing any percent no save and quit corruption, we actually went here first before we went to the Red King, because then we didn't have to beat the Red King. But we still got the bombs, because the chests will be there though, even though the boss won't be around. And we're gonna do more bomb clips, because it's faster. So you're supposed to go up and trigger a cutscene, but we skipped that. And because we skipped that, there is some other advantages to it, and I will show that in a bit, because that's coming up next. And this is supposed to be a racing game. You need to enter from the top left and like pay 10 coins to do the racing game, and if you're not in time you have to try it again. We can also do this, and there's the boots. And the boots do what you expect they do. They make you faster. But once again, as I've said, why wouldn't you get it earlier? Because the trigger removes all the bosses and makes this category invalid. So that's basically why we don't get the boots first, because it saves quite a while. So yeah, we hold up at the hot spring there, and usually when you walk through water, you're a little bit slower. But we figured out that if you walk at the edge, you will still get healed, but not slow down of the water. So that's nice. It's like a little optimization. Yeah. So now, especially now you have the boots, your energy becomes a big thing, because you cannot just spam boots. Once you're out of energy, you're out of energy. So this is where actually, yeah, this is where you actually need to take your energy bar into account. And the RO is to upgrade it, but, well, not in this run, because that means we need to get extra stuff. Also, usually, you saw like the 4 guards outside. Usually they're not in their place. You have to actually like shove them onto the right tiles. But because we skipped the cutscene, for some reason they're already there. I can only imagine that it's programmed that the cutscene actually triggers the guys to be not information. And because we never got the cutscene, the game never acknowledged that they're not in their proper location. That's the only thing I can think of. Ooh, that was close. There's another one of these. The reason I don't throw a bomb in here is because the urns that you see actually contain enemies, and if you break them down with the bombs, you have to beat them before you get the key. So that's a thing. This next room is RNG-ish. I don't know exactly how it works. I hope they go down. Oh, they both go down. That's good. So this is how easily you can beat them. Okay, that was nice. Oh, make sure you get the chest. Ice physics can be weird. Okay, up. Thank you. So all the time I won by fighting these guys really quickly, I've lost by getting the key. Because ice is the true enemy in this game. I mean, the ice physics can be nice. I think it's technically faster than the boots if you do it correctly. But it's weird. I mean, ice physics in games are generally weird anyways. And usually nobody likes them. I do like them in this game though. And yeah, these rooms for at least a while are pretty straightforward. So once again, if there are any words, this might be the time to talk about that.
We do have a donation here. We have $20 from Anton, who says, "Shout out to everyone in ESA Marathon on QuakeNet. Good luck to all the runners." Thank you very much.
Alright, that's nice. And also, once again, you need to go around and do like a whole bunch of stuff. But well, once again, we have bombs. That's the main thing of this game. We have bombs, so screw the rooms. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. Now here we're gonna see like a few of the dragon snakes again. No hits. One. Come here. Oh, that was a nice double. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. Once again, there's a towel room, a towel puzzle. It's okay. It's not that bad. I do like them at times, but I mean, if you run this game like a lot, then it gets repetitive. Hello? Oh. I've never seen him hug in that corner. That was weird. So you need to hit the switch here. Yeah, actually, I think the intended way is arrows. We do have them, but like swapping out items is slow, so bombs work too. You also, there's a little trick. That's actually what I did on my first playthrough. My first casual playthrough. You can upgrade the bow to have 3 shots, and if you stand like in the door and then shoot, you can actually hit it with one of the 3 arrows, which is neat. Also, the reason I fell down is because you get set back to the beginning of the room, plus you will have enough energy to use your boots for the next room. So a little optimization. Don't pick up the pot, Lily, please. Thank you. Alright, so this is... in my chat, this is called the Wiki Snake. And I don't specifically know why. Apparently I look like him. It's fine. Oh, I missed the bombs. That's not good. That's not so fine. But yeah, he's giving me a good pattern. Okay, oh, fair enough. I should have gotten him if I didn't miss the first bombs. It's a little bit slower, it's fine. So we get a medallion here. This is a fire spell, and we're gonna need that in a little bit. It's not super useful, I'd say, but it gets more use than in any percent, so... Because in any percent, you get you do this dungeon as well, and basically the same as you've done it so far. There's only divergence in like the end of the dungeon, because later on we need to hit a certain switch with a projectile, and in the any percent run you don't pick up the arrows, so you don't have projectiles, so you need to get another spell. And that's a spell we're gonna miss out on this run though, because it's faster to do it this way than actually get the spell. Although the spell's like really good, it shoots fireballs and I like that, but we timed it and it's slower, so we're not gonna do that. It's a nice backup strat if you're learning this game though, because the next boss can be really hard and the fireballs make it a lot easier. So it's just your preference basically. If you want to go fast, don't get them. If you're not certain about it, get them. That's basically what it is. Oh, that's not good. So this is like an execution room. You need to just kill every enemy. And I'm gonna fall down here because we need to do the right side as well. And you need to go to the door on top. So you can go around, but I mean, then you need to go up again. And if you do it like this, you will get more back down and you can do the right side. Once again, like a minor optimization. But it's nice, and I like that. That's the thing. Why did you walk all the way to the left? Thank you. So what we want to do here in any percent is we want to damage boost, because once we get the fireball spell, you actually death warp to get back to full health. Plus it saves time because you go back to a specific portal again. And once again, we're not going to see that in this run. Taking damage is fine. It's not that bad. It slows you down a little bit though, so you'd rather not do it. Oh, that was actually pretty neat. So this is, it's a fine room. I shouldn't do that. I don't specifically hate it. There are some runners that actually hate this room because of the ice physics. I don't hate it that much. I should be fine with that, yeah. Okay, let's see if I can, perfect. So there's gonna be a switch on the bottom here, and we need to hit that in order to open the door. Let's see, should be right there. Great, I got it. I sometimes miss that, and I mean, my aim is just terrible then, but okay, so we can heal up, and this is probably the hardest boss of the game. I would only imagine so, and this has a lot of RNG to it as well. So it's easier to stay like on distance and shoot fireballs if you have that spell. But if you can make use of the... Okay, that's not good. If you can make use of the invincibility frames of the sword dash, then it's actually not that bad. Oh boy. Okay, that's not good RNG. As long as he's up in the air, I cannot hit him. So I just hope he just jumps down a lot. Okay, that's bad. Come on, nice. He can do a lot of damage. He's already in the red, so he should be done soon. Okay, that was fairly quick, I would say. And also, for some reason, during this one, you can keep slashing your sword while you obtain the item. Alright, so this is a little cutscene that takes about a minute. So this is a great time for some words.
I would actually like to remind our viewers about some upcoming bid wars and donation incentives. And coming up just in 2 games, we have LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. And there we have 2 bid wars going on. One being which Death Star that Laser Trap is going to blow up after the run, where you can choose between the Death Star from A New Hope or the Death Star from Return of the Jedi, where currently the Episode 4 Death Star is in the lead with $16 to nothing. And you can also choose if Laser Trap is going to kill or spare the Rebel troops. And right now we are at $5 for killing them and nothing for sparing them. And coming up a little later today is also Cube 2, where if we raise $200, Ethelon and Fetsk will showcase the any percent category of the DLC after the race. We are currently sitting at $25 for that. So you have about 6 hours for that one. So if you want to see even more of that game, then keep them coming.
Yeah, get your donations in for those bid wars and incentive, guys. It's very important. And you're also saving the children with that, so it's a win-win situation for everyone. So basically what we just saw in the cutscene, Crocus invaded the castle with his minions, and what happened is Lily came back at the right time with the ingredient to wake up the king, and he just crushed all the minions at least. And now we're actually heading towards Crocus. Oh, I'm glad I got that first try. Sometimes it just doesn't register one of the hits. And we get an invincibility potion here. And that's gonna be a big use later on in this specific cave. As you can see, there are bats. And this is just like a small part of them. There's gonna be one little area that's insane, and you want to have an invincibility potion for that. If you're not aware that you can actually get those potions, this might be a really, really terrible cave for you. So it's actually, I mean, it's sort of generous that they gave you the potion like at the start of it, if you know about like blowing up rocks, which you should, I think. I mean, you should at least try. But yeah, there's one room in particular, and it's just terrible. Also, there's the return of the rats as well. Yeah, the upcoming room is the room I was talking about. And once again, this is like heavily energy management. Alright, so you see bats, you see a lot of bats, and you see even more bats, and it's just bats. And bats. And bats. Why didn't I get hit yet? That's nice. And even more bats. And okay, there's it. Nice. And this is the part where it starts to become only one tile area. So you want to use that. And even though you're invincible, they can still shove you around, which can mess you up. Because they can still... You're invincible, but they can still, like... push you down the pit. Which is not fun, because you have to do that all over again, and you don't have the potion anymore. So yeah, I'm glad that worked out. Then there's this part, where we break the rocks, and we need to break more rocks, so we're just gonna get health here, because we have the time for that anyways. And then we can do that, and that. Oh, I took damage, that's fine, I guess. So, we're almost at the end of the cave, and we're gonna see a reference to a different game here. There are a lot of small references in this one. This is one of them. Let me see if you can remember who this is. Her name is Grunda, by the way. Maybe that rings a bell. It's a green witch. I mean, I can sorta... You can guess who that's a reference to. And there's also a reference to... Like, you'll get a shovel at some point, and it's reference to a specific knight. I don't know if you know the reference, but well, there's that. And this is, well, this is pretty annoying, with all the orcs blocking your way. But it should be fine. And this is actually the first time where we see this, and this is going to be the main gimmick of this castle. It's rotating tiles, and it's fine. Once you know the patterns. You'll notice later on that it can be a pain to do that if you're not familiar with it. So this is the big castle. And remember, I didn't get the portal. Remember that. That's keep that in mind. I never grabbed the portal. Because that's important. Alright. They're also like spiking up the difficulty really hard here with falling tiles and attacking enemies and precise movement, and I should be silent and focusing, so I'm gonna fall down at some point. Or not. Okay, we're fine. Alright, good. I was not expecting that. Yeah, this is where it gets harder a little bit. So, for this specific puzzle, once again, you need to go around and find the clues to know which symbol should be where. But, I mean, it's preset. And it's fairly easy to remember, so it's not that hard. This is upcoming another block puzzle, and this one can sort of soft lock you if you don't do it correctly. I'm not gonna show it right now because I don't want that. But this one, you can push the blocks in front of the stairs, and then you can't leave, and you cannot hit the switch because it's out of range, so you need to save and quit to actually get back to the room. Which, interesting fact about the game saves after every room transition. So, well, there's that. So if you save and quit, you're just gonna be back at the beginning of the room. I should make that. And once again, energy management is everything. That's bad. Energy management is everything in this game. So I was talking about the get out. I was talking about the rotating blocks. This is the first one. This one is not that hard. So you need to activate certain switches. I shouldn't have done that. That's fine. And this one is fairly easy, but there is another one upcoming that's not that easy. And you'll see that. So basically, that's the gate to the final boss. And it has like a barrier. It has like 3 electric barriers, and you need to shut them down by solving the rotating puzzles, or the rotating block puzzles. However, there is another trick to it. If you could move out of the way, thank you. But I'll tell you about that later, because we're gonna see another block puzzle like that. Or, yeah, rotating block puzzle. So this one is a little bit trickier because it's more open. So it's easier to, to mess it up. So remember that key we picked up? This opens the room on top, and you need to go around for like 5 minutes to get another key. In like an insane section where you have like these speeding up tiles and falling tiles as well, and it's crazy. But we don't go there because we got the key in the Boiling Caverns, which is convenient. For some reason, keys work in every dungeon. It doesn't matter where you pick them up. And we gladly use that. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna show off something. This is also how broken the portals are. I'm gonna death warp, because it seems stupid to do that. But for some reason, because you entered this room, you're warped there. Which is, I don't know why it happens, but it does. Okay. If I can get this, okay. Oh, that's bad. Okay. So there is like a stun kill to it, and it's this. Yeah, okay, we got it. So if you do this correctly, it's so easy. So that's the mini boss, and the only reason we do it is because it's all bosses, so we need to do that. So remember that photo at the beginning of the dungeon we never picked up? We got it anyways. Once again, I don't know how it works, but it works, so I'm not gonna question it. Ooh, okay, we gotta hit. Oh, I take a hit, that's fine. So usually you should go around all the way of the dungeon, which is like 10 to 15 minutes. But we can bomb clip up here, and this is the last. Okay, this is. I should focus. I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit. Okay, so this is the last rotating tile puzzle. And because it's the last one, it removes all the barriers. So in any percent where you don't have to go to the mid-boss to beat him, you can just do that, and you have your entrance to the final boss. It's stupid. But yeah, alright, the final boss. And there's also a really, really cheesy kill here. So this is Crocus. This is Crocus, and he's gonna do that. So we can clip up the altar, and then we wait till he actually arrives here. Can you please go here? Thank you. Okay. Then we activate the invincibility potion, and then we can just do this. Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. Can I hit him here? Okay, nice. That works. And time. That's actually 8 seconds of world record. That's really good. Holy shit. Sorry about my swearing, but that was... Okay, that was insane. So basically what happens Once you have the invincibility potion, your sword gets even stronger for some reason. And you can also clip up the altar, which is stupid, but it makes the boss like insanely easy. So yeah, that was Blossom Tales for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in learning the speed game, on the speedrun page there is a link to the Discord, and you can join, and me and a bunch of others will gladly help you out with it. So there's that, and yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and that was it for my run.
to escape. It will take you home. When you're walking on the moon, walking on the moon, chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our troubles seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our troubles seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, ever, never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. It will take you home. When you're walking on the moon,
Walking on the moon.
chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never been.
Look at that scene.